Hey everyone, I'll be talking about one nation, one election. So first of all, before 1967, we were having our elections, most of the elections simultaneously. But due to some problems and due to instability after that, our elections timing of different states as assembly polls or Lok Sabha got different timing. And due to this problem, we have to face elections a whole year. And due to that, we waste a lot of our resources. And if you look around the facts, India is one of the highest spending country in the elections. Every time whenever we conduct the Lok Sabha is the highest grossing election in the world. So to reduce the wastage of resource, we can conduct the election simultaneously. But the issue with it is we are not prepared for that because we are having a lack of manpower like defense forces, defense personnel who are required for that, and the EVMs are also having very less. An estimate says that if we conduct elections simultaneously, we would be requiring most likely 15 million EVMs. That is very high in number. And we also require more amount of defense personnel, police members, and the voting officials. So it is like now we are not ready for that. So we have to make lots of improvement to conduct this. The second problem why you should not conduct elections in a one go is one survey says if elections conducted in a simultaneously in a singular manner, then it is most likely that the voters will select the same party in Lok Sabha or other in the assembly polls. It is 70% likely that the voters will elect the same number of parties. If we conduct like elections in a whole 5 year every time, then there is also a fear in the parties that they can see the momentum what the public is thinking in this year, what they will think in next year. Like every time, like this year BJP has won, next year if they have lost in any state, they will get to know that the public is disheartened and public wants to change, so they start improve their policy so that the public, they attract public. So they focus whole year in making their face value. But like the problem this problem can be eradicated once we have elections simultaneously, because the politicians will not focus that much on making their face value. The politicians will not have to focus more on making the other candidates win. Like for example, we see the top leaders of any other party, Modi ji or Yogi ji or Rahul Gandhi or any leader always helps the subordinate leaders who are contesting for MP or MLA. They go to campaign their elections and to different states. Like they have already a different role to play for 5 years, but they don't focus on their own role. But instead of making his party member win in that scenario, so this is one of the issue. And the second benefit of having elections simultaneously is when elections happen simultaneously, like each and every contestant would be focusing on himself rather on his party member. And in that scenario, there would be no one who would be winning in the name of someone else. Like last year we have seen many of the MPs won in the name of Modi. So this can be eradicated, and individual contestant can be heard, because after 5 years also he alone have to come. There will be no one coming to in support of him after next 5 years. So he has to do the work at the ground level. So and in that scenario, the individual will not be able to spend that much amount of money, because the whole elections is like happening in a single go. The party cannot afford to spend that amount of money who is like contesting election in all over the India. So it would not be feasible for that. So it will fairly give chance for any normal or normal candidate who are coming from a limited background, from a limited resource, also give a fair chance to contest elections and also win. And people will not be manipulated by the different promises by the top leaders. The promises would be like basically made by the local leaders who would be visiting the constituency. Like every time they have to be answerable for anything when happens wrong. So, like the social cleavage that is happening uh, will be eradicated through that, because like the problems of states and problems at the center level both are different. They have to focus and they have to address separately. So in that scenario, I hope the system would be more systematic, and to conduct elections simultaneously, like government have to make a very foolproof plan in that. They have to conduct police reforms also, because we are seeing that in most of the states we are not having the sufficient amount of police personnel. Like in EVMs, whenever we see that elections are happening, most of the teachers are assigned in the election duty and the other thing. So like government has to increase its staff member and the officials, so that they have enough amount of people when the elections are contesting. And in that scenario, the like personals do not have to travel that much. Like in present scenario, persons have to travel from like each and every parts, and election conducted in lots of phases. So that can be decreased in that scenario. But in that there would be a very huge role for election commission for the 1 year when the elections will be coming, but for the rest 4 year, elections commission would be free. So I can suggest one example that government can like recruit many people as on the basis of contractual thing, and they can get their things done. And after the elections getting over, the all people would be again left to do any other things that they were doing. So in that scenario, nothing would be like stopped during the elections, and everything goes on simultaneously, and all things do happen in a scenario. So at last, I would like to say that the government has to think beyond the ideas, because this can improve many of the things. And government at the center can focus more on making foreign policy and making the country strengthen, making the country in a very good economic condition. So it requires a very foolproof plan. Until and unless they like we can resolve the issues of police and the EVMs, we can conduct the elections in a like different go as we are doing. Thank you so much.